70s, and that's a case in point in proving it right here. The Bubble Puppy, Hot Smoke and Sassafras from 1969. A top 20 went number 14 from San Antonio, Texas. Hey folks, we stream worldwide on the Summit.fm. Like Ting lives down in Florida, you could download the Summit for free and listen down in Florida or any place else. So Ting, this show's going to air on July 9th. We're recording it tonight, and we're going to promote the heck out of it too, which we've already done during the course of time, but because you deserve all of that. But make sure you download the app and you listen down in Florida. I assume you're going to be down that way then.
Yeah, I'll be back in Florida by then.
What part of Florida are you living in?
Have you heard of Destin?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Florida Panhandle, so I'm not in the deep heat down south in Florida. We're up by Panama City Beach, in that area. I mean, it's beautiful. In your humble beginnings, you grew up where, in the Cornersburg area, west side, or no? Division Street. Okay. Lower west side. I mean, you know, my house was 5 houses from the bridge to go over to the steel mills and then on to the north side. That's, you know, I mean, we were right there, and it was a very rough, mixed neighborhood. A very different time. How did you guys all come to be and form the Premiers coming out of the West Side like that? Whose idea was this? We were all in different bands. I actually used to go listen to the Premiers. I was, you know, I mean, we had all these great names back then, you know, and I was in a band called the Epics, but we really weren't so epic. but I used to go watch them, and I was like, oh my God, I wish I could be in that band. That band is so good, you know. And their rhythm guitar player they used to play at the Old Barn, if people remember the Old Barn. He ran it with another partner, and he was tired of playing in the band because he was making so much money, you know, just putting on the dances. So he told them he was quitting. Now Gary Coates, the drummer for the Premiers, sat in with my band with the Epics because our drummer was sick. He went back and told them that they ought to give me a tryout. Gary, Dick, and Mel were already together. And then they asked me, they called me and said, hey, do you want to try out with the Premiers? I was like, I almost fainted. I was like, are you kidding? Now, how old are you at this time? I think I was 19. Wow, that had to be a thrill. This was 1964. And I went there, and it all fell together. You know, and then, I mean, we rehearsed for about 2 weeks, and then Jimmy quit, and I took over, and, you know, we just kept getting more and more popular. The drug era, the psychedelic era, how did you guys deal with all that? Because you're right in the middle of all of that. How was it? Women, drugs, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And the human beings are right in the smack in the middle of that era. How much time do you have? Hey, we got a young guy here too. We got to be careful. Okay, well, but the women were throwing themselves at you, right? I mean, you got. Yes. What was it like to come back to Youngstown? You're like renowned stars nationally now, and you're walking around in Youngstown. It's an amazing feeling, I imagine. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was an honor to be that popular. I mean, bands. You know, you don't put a band together and say we're going to be the band. I mean, it takes a lot of luck. It takes people liking you, liking the way your band sounds and everything. So we consider it a lot of luck all the time. You know, people chose us to be the band in this area. I mean, we kept looking around at other bands because we got along with all the bands in the area. We just kept wondering, why us? You know, why not them or them or them? Why us? But that was just the way it all fell into place. And then Ting, too, I'm sure you could pay homage, and there was mutual respect. You had Dennis coming up, Dennis T. Menace with the Pied Pipers, eventually would go on to Left End. There were so many artists, and you had Glass Harp before that, New Hudson Exit with Heggie and Pecchio and Safara, and Volume 4, who they were once called at one time. So you guys all went out and scoped each other out and, you know, but we were all friends. But you were all buddies, right? Yes, I mean, we were all supportive of each other.
It's kind of going on today. People go out and support the other bands.
There was never a time where, you know, we would like put any band down. I mean, anybody, you know, there's a fellow in town named Jerry Cinefani. This was back in '66 or something like that. We were playing at Adora Park, ballroom, and his dad came up to me and said, "Hey, when you guys take a break, would you mind if my son's band played a little bit?" And Jerry Senafani was 12 years old.
Wow.
And I said, "Sure, go ahead, go ahead, get up there and play." And, they got up there, and this 12-year-old kid, I'm looking at it, I'm going, that SOB is already better than me. Why the hell did I let him get on stage? But I knew at the time, there I'm looking at another Phil Kagan, another guy that is going to really be absolutely top of the line. Things like that happen.
And went on to become a legend, of course.
Yeah, he is still a legend around. You play something for him, and in 5 minutes he'll play it back to you.
That is
That's
amazing.
how it is.
Ting Markulin, original member of the Human Beings, right here on the Summit in the Closet Classic Theater, and we're focusing exclusively on the 60s decade as a tribute to them. Here's another band that formed in the 1960s out of Louisville, Kentucky. Surely didn't have a southern sound to them. 1969, 24 on Billboard, they went top 40. Amazon record label. They opened for prominent acts like Bob Seger, Grand Funk Railroad, and the James Gang at one time. Here's the Rugbies and their classic UI on the Closet Classic Theater and the Summit.